Every time you link one of your posts, vlogs or videos as a reply, there is a high probability you will be accused of self-plugging. The actual content of what you linked does not matter, because you are shamelessly advertising yourself. The thing is, I have seen plenty of comments that are only about promoting their content, and it's easy to tell the difference. They weren't replying to something or offering insight to a discussion, they were just saying something relevant such as, "Nice video, check out my channel for anime merchandise." That is a shameless self-promotion. What I am mostly doing is linking a relevant to the topic video for the sole purpose of not having to write down again stuff that I have already clarified elsewhere. Referencing past material saves you a lot of time because you don't have to repeat the exact same things every time you encounter the exact same issue. Also, why is it so bad to share your content when the sole purpose you made it was so you can share it? If it's open to the public and not top secret information you have sworn to take with you to the grave, there is nothing wrong in promoting it in relevant topics. I also find it very unfair that you are mocked for sharing content that took a lot of time and effort to complete, whereas nobody who shares your content, usually without asking you, gets a lot of credit even though he didn't have anything to do with its creation. It's like praising an art collector for a painting he bought, while at the same time making fun of the artist who created the damn painting. It almost feels like you need to have multiple accounts, just so you can pretend being someone else when you link your content. This way you won't be shut on for doing the obvious. It becomes even more ludicrous when you realize how pretty much everything nowadays is selling on name. What is the first thing they say every time a new series is announced? Who will be directing it, who will be voice acting, which band will be doing the opening song, and so on. Why do you think Gundam Build Fighters had a huge following when it's basically a generic proxy battle show for kids? Because it has the name Gundam on it, and the models are all based on designs from past series. It has otherwise nothing to do with the concept of Gundam, it's not a war drama, it's an in-your-face cash grab aiming at those who like a Gundam. Why is it fine when everybody's hyped up for Mob Psycho 100 just because it's from the same mangaka as One Punch Man? It's animated by a different studio, which means it will get a large boost in sales thanks to the work of an unrelated studio. Why isn't that self-promotion? And I know what you will say, it's still the same mangaka promoting different titles he created. When you link your impressions of the series, you're not the creator, you're just plugging your content. Excuse me, where is the difference in expanding your fandom through sharing your reviews from the creators making their work known by slapping their name on everything they were part of? How can reviewers become famous without sharing their reviews? It's like demanding from authors to become famous without publishing books. Let me tell you the actual reason many are using this ludicrous excuse. It's because they don't like it when you talk down on something they like. When you link stuff they like, they're not going to complain, they are fine with those. Negative criticism is when they lose their shit and trying to find any bullshit they can think of to excuse their discomfort. You are an attention whore only when you have a different opinion. I mean, what other reason can there possibly be if you're not part of a circle jerk? Circle jerks need to be constantly positive, with anything negative counting as derailment. You are clearly trying to stand out by disagreeing. You must not do things differently. You must repeat what everybody else is saying or stay silent. The discussion is ruined when, ironically, it is not all about deriding a title or a creator that became famous by self-plugging everywhere and eventually selling on name alone.
A lot of big names, a lot of big individual people that have worked on some very high priority things in the past are now working on this anime. This is made by Studio Mappa, it is written by the interspecies reviewer writer, and the character designs is done by the Dragon Maid mangaka, and the anime looks like a Studio Trigger series. That is the general premise so far. If I've already caught your attention about how I described it, let's actually get into what it is about. High profile names and stuff that is attached to this project. Instantly you're gonna see some similarities to, let's say, like a Trigger show. You're gonna see some similarities to, let's say, Dragon Maid. It actually looks like a Studio Mappa anime. There's even some fan service thrown in that is very reminiscent of, you know, interspecies reviewers. Definitely ramping up into something rather unique. Is it something that is actually worth your time? Well, here's the thing. If you like following Studio Mappa, then this most likely could be your story. That is a good way to summarize it. Regardless of how you feel about how they potentially treat their employees, they have been putting up some really great work. Animation work. The entire animators and the whole team has been doing really good work on anime, and I feel like, once again, this is probably going to be one of those hits that are going to stand out.
One of the many places I have been banned from is our anime on Reddit, because the mods didn't like my negative opinions on Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan back when the public opinion was that they were masterpieces. Even so, I am still in contact with people through messages and chats. This was used by the mods as a reason to never let me in ever again, since they label me staying in contact as spamming and self-plugging. Whenever I ask for the ban to lift, I always get the same bullshit. No, you spam and self-plug your channel. Mind you that I am not randomly sending messages to people, I am informing those who are asking about them. Whenever I see someone asking if there are any anime channels that speak the truth and don't repeat what the industry wants people to hear, I mention mine. Whenever people ask for a list of the classic anime, I link my recommendation list. Whenever they ask what is people's opinion about a certain aspect of a show, I link them my video about it. All that, according to Reddit, count as spamming and self-promotion, which for some reason are evil. But the paid advertisements, on the other hand, which are appearing every 5 posts and which you cannot hide without paying, those are allowed. You are not allowed to mention your name when you offer your insight on a title, unless you're a paid platform that does exactly that. It's why everyone thinks and repeats the exact same things about whatever is popular, because they are only allowed to see the views of the industry and not of the consumer. And it's why everything constantly comes down to you supporting everything, because if it has a lot of support, they will keep making more of it. Not because it's good, but because it has a lot of support. And how does something have a lot of support? By everyone thinking and repeating whatever the industry is constantly spamming and self-plugging. Nothing else is allowed, because that would be spamming and self-plugging without Reddit making money out of it. Even if it's anti-consumer and antitrust, because it is silencing the consumers and ruins the trust between them and the industry. So yeah, I can't comment on our anime anymore, because I am doing the exact same thing as the industry without paying Reddit any money, so they can see it as completely fine.